trained professionals here, I would not advise it unless you have an Evan Lemons with you. You know, number 11 in the world, 1,681 total. I remember all these things and try to forget my own stats. But that's beside the point. We're about to do an interview for this man after we get all these plates set up. And we're gonna show you how it's done, and we're gonna get inside of the head of Evan himself and figure out what makes him tick. Like, what is it? All right, Evan, so other than driving a Yamaha and speeding and being an outlaw, etc., like, what got you into powerlifting? What made you a powerlifter?
Well, after running in college, you know, ran out of track eligibility, ran out of cross-country eligibility. Didn't really enjoy being 120, 130 pounds, long distance runner. Nobody really cared.
Yeah,
it's not like I got a whole lot of female attention anyway.
Yeah.
But
same.
I started working out with a buddy named Joseph Seal. He wasn't a power lifter, he just liked to work out, so that's kind of what I did. And he was more into the bodybuilding side of it. Trained like a bodybuilder, didn't do the competitions. But whenever I got home, I told my brother-in-law, because he'd worked out with my sister, that I was looking to do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And we went to Bender's Gym here in Gunnersville.
Yep.
You know, did some powerlifting stuff because that's what he liked to do. My sister was doing shows for bodybuilding and bikini and stuff like that. Well, I tore the fascia that goes around my front delt. So my shoulders were uneven. My right shoulder's always been bigger than my left.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I'm gonna get deducted points immediately. They're like, well, dude, you suck. Your shoulders suck. You're not symmetrical. So
those judges, man.
Then I sat there and I was like, tried to find somebody that was into bodybuilding, and Nick McIntyre, who was there at the time, looked like a Greek god. I don't know how you know, had the best tits I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And, I would say the same, honestly.
He was he would have been in my weight class, would have been in my division. And I sat there, looked in the mirror, and I was like, I got nothing on that guy. I said, why would I want to go and compete? Not that I'm not a competitive person, but I'm like, it's gonna take me years to get to that level, and then he's gonna have years to get further.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna catch him. Yeah. And I was like, and Justin was like, well, you're already kind of strong for your size. Why don't you just go this route? And I was like, I don't even have to look good, so okay.
All you gotta do is lift some weight on a barbell, putting it up, sitting it down.
But the stuff we were doing was just, at the time, idiotic. We just didn't know any better. It was basic gym bro crap.
Yeah.
And how we didn't get hurt more than we did, I'll never know. We warped every bar at that gym and then came here. So we actually got good at powerlifting whenever we started studying and doing a little bit more intelligent style training. But pretty much I knew I couldn't beat him in bodybuilding, so I had to find something else to do.
So a lot of people don't know this, but the reason Evan is so good at squatting is because he wore the same exact lifters that Jesus wore. I mean, look at him. Absolutely dismantled. He might need a new pair. Alright, Evan, so question number 2. Whenever you're about to do a big squat, a big lift, or whatever, etc., what kind of playlist do you listen to, and why do you do it? Because I know what you listen to. I just want to know the reason behind it.
So, rarely ever do I listen to anything that's going to get me overly hyped.
Yes.
There's no death metal. It's very rare is it any type of crazy rap.
Yes.
It's usually Fergie.
Fergie's a good choice.
Nelly Furtado, like the old stuff. Sometimes Miley Cyrus, because it's about the climb.
Yeah, it is. That's a climb right there.
But I don't know. I mean, just like everything else I do in my life, I try to challenge myself, and it's with the music side of it. I don't take this overly serious anyway, so if I can compose myself to the point where I can block out the music and just roll with it,
Yes.
mentally that makes me stronger maybe.
I agree.
Yeah, when I played basketball in high school, our basketball coach used to make us hit 25 free throws in a row before we could leave, especially like guards, people that are in late game situation if it's a close game. That man would turn on the craziest banjo music you've ever heard in your life and turn it up so loud, like you had to tune it out to be able to hit free throws. Yeah. And if you didn't, you'd be in there all day running sprints. So
yes.
I guess a different version of that, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if you don't have to rely on this hard rock and like, heavy rap, etc. You can listen to the goofiest stuff in the world. It's like, that means you can just hit whatever you want, any given day, music or not. So it makes sense. Okay, and y'all probably seen my squat before. I'm getting up to like 365, and that's decent. But Evan, what are you getting up to?
On what?
On squat.
The goal in December is 675 to 700.
Well, I meant right now, but still.
I'm doing 480 for pauses. Naked.
Wow, naked. I like that. That's a good accessory right there. I do it sometimes myself. Upset. Other than that, dude, I promise. Don't even get started. I will outskate you.
Inline skates, I promise you don't want none.
Dude, let's go then.
I haven't put on skates since I was 15 years old, and I would blow you away.
Okay, so I got a challenge for you. Squat challenge in rollerblade.
That ain't happening. I hope people that do crap like that get hurt, so I'm not doing it.
But I wouldn't do it, but per se, who would win in that situation?
You, because you practice stupid stuff.
Fair point.
I'd like to get done working out sometime today.
Minus, before this idiot interrupted me, 600 less than 1,000. Keep that in mind. Talking to you, Ben, my biggest hater. Alright, so last question for you today. A lot of people, like, before they start lifting, they think of something that like gets to them, that motivates them, that just pushes them to, get focused up and do this. Like, what would you say is like your number one thing that motivates you before you do a set? Like, what do you think of before a 650 squat, or as of soon 700?
It'd be kind of embarrassing if I missed it.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I don't have a whole lot of motivation for it. It's I've been doing this long enough to where motivation dies.
Yeah.
I don't always enjoy doing this, but I know if I give up on one day, then in a couple months from now, if I just give it up, I'm going to be kind of pissed that I let it go. And it's going to be that much harder to get it back. And I mean, it's just, nobody wants to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and come work out at 3:45 or 4 o'clock in the morning before going to work, and then have to spend all day at work doing that stuff. But if you don't do it and you try to go after work, maybe your lifts are going to be garbage. I mean, either way,
It happens.
either way, I don't get a whole lot of motivation. Sometimes I'm excited to go to the gym. You know, whenever I am mad, yeah, I've got some motivation. I can take out some anger at the gym.
Yeah.
A lot of times I come in here and I wouldn't say go through the motions, but there's not a whole lot of seriousness until I get underneath the bar, and then I wouldn't say rage out because I don't do that.
Yeah.
I more or less, it's very almost like a calm in the storm. Right before it gets bad and you're in the eye, and then that second wave hits you, that's what it is when I unrack it. I mean, that's kind of my mindset.
So you think of it as like whenever you're under there, you think of it as if your motivation is keeping the consistency that you would this entire time, and then second, you get under it, you stay completely clear-minded and just focus on what you need to do.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody has nagging injuries. You've been going through a knee issue for going on better part of 9 months. It gets better, comes off. You know, I've been having this shoulder issue. Like I told you, I benched 400 with a shoulder issue, and I thought I had a torn front delt, or partially torn. You know, it's just a separated AC joint, and a lot of times you just try to focus on your form so much to the point that if anything does happen and goes wrong, you're in the safest possible position. So if you're more worried about something that's hurting, because I mean, when you get into powerlifting or you get into bodybuilding, you're going to go through injuries. You're going to go through stuff that you don't feel good.
Yes.
You're going to go through, well, my knee kind of hurts today, so I'm just going to do biceps for the 12th day in a row. Which is how you got your arm.
Yes.
But I mean, I've tried my best to just focus on form, staying tight, doing what I'm supposed to do. And I've had days where I've just, even though staying tight, I went to press through, shoulder didn't feel good. You got to know when to shut it down.
Exactly.
And it's not a whole lot of motivation. It's more or less just being smart about the longevity of it and not trying to get too far ahead.
And now I would say, like, you're probably confident enough in your lifts that you know your abilities. When you get underneath there, there's like a confidence thing about it. You don't have to have this music and stuff like that hyping you up, like you said with the Fergie and stuff. You're thinking more about like laughing and, you know, instead of being like angry like most people are, they just get red hot and get under there and just try to, you know, anger up the weight. You just know that you can do it, and you don't need the best situation. You can do it regardless because you're confident in your abilities.
Everything's slow and controlled. As long as you're under the control of the situation, it can be a grinder or it can be as smooth as you want to, and you don't have to worry about any extra motivation going through the movement. If you're not super pumped that day, I'm not worried about trying to squat 450. Or you can just go through and make sure everything's like it's supposed to be and do your job and do it well.
Heck yeah. Evan, one more thing. We're about to end the video. So, last question I got for you. Where should I go eat now that I'm done and you got a lot more work because, you know, you're a national level lifter?
Hard to turn down Bubba-ritos, but on a Friday night, if you don't go eat Chick-fil-A today, you gotta have it tomorrow because it's closed on Sunday.
Okay.
You got Zaxby's in Arab. You don't have a Chick-fil-A in Arab.
So Zaxby's or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A or Bubba-ritos?
Chick-fil-A. Alright guys, thank you for coming to the video. We got to interview one of the best, one of my bigger motivators, and an absolute beast on the platform regardless. Appreciate you for doing this interview. It's pretty dope. And good luck on your bench because we gotta go get some food.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting my workout short. But never give up. But I'm giving up. Okay, so that was the interview with Evan. Like and subscribe for more content. I know y'all keep wanting to come back, and I want to keep coming back to you and portraying my, what's the word? Maniacal? Is that a word, Ben?
Barely.
It is now. Maniacal brain, and Ben draws it like an artist. So keep coming if you like it. Like and subscribe and share on literally everything that you know. And as always, Stay beautiful, baby girl.